Okay. Am I live? Am I live? Should be on live. Hey, what is up, guys? Good morning to you and welcome to Forex Gym. My name is George and I will be analyzing the currency pairs and addressing the questions you might have. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe. So today, we got two news. If you have not read the chat box, we have two news. So I'm gonna be doing this live stream 1.5 hours, which I normally do less. So decided to start the 1.5 hours. However, if there's no questions or there's no responses from the chat box, no questions or any requests, then I will be giving about 5 minutes and then I will be signing out. But it will be 1.5 hours. If the questions and the requests will be keep coming in, I'm gonna stay for 1.5 hours. Also, I've got my lovely assistant Emily, who will be assisting me to make sure that I get and I do not miss any of your questions or requests. So without that said, I have two currencies so far which I pre-selected. The first one is going to be Australian dollar against US dollar. I'm going to type it actually in here. Usd. So that will be the first one, and the second one is US dollar against Canadian dollar. So these two currencies. And again, if you got any questions or the currencies you want me to analyze, please just drop it in the chat box and I'm gonna be addressing them after I analyze this Aussie against USD and USD against Canada. So make sure to if not, then I'm going to be pre-selecting on the other currencies after I analyze these two currencies. So with that said, I'm going to jump in and start analyzing Aussie against Australian dollar against US dollar. We also had a trade on this one yesterday, myself included, and also I think a few guys on the who took the trade with me. So we're gonna start with the daily time frames and drill down, and then I'm gonna address the trades we had yesterday's, which we end up getting stopped out. So from the daily time frame, we still in the this nice uptrend on the daily time frame. We see this still nice uptrend up here. It's still been going nice, and for the yesterday and day before, we are having these bigger retracements, bigger than I thought it would have, but we are seeing that the price is coming down to this support level at the moment. So let's drill down to the short time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. I think anything new in here. So it's pretty going nicely, steadily down. We have this trend line up here in play as well. So on the daily time frame, same as the daily time frames one. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame and see in here. So I'm going to start addressing the we had the trades. Pretty sure probably most likely going to get stopped out. I did get stopped out. Yesterday when the price was going nicely, I had the trade. I think the first entry was somewhere here. I got on the first, and then I added another unit. I think it was down here at 65.44, I believe, somewhere down here, and I added the units for the prediction was to the price to go up, but as we can see, it did not quite did that, so it just rolled over. I remember I was looking at these charts, and we had these two candles up here. It's still looking nice. It still did look as a retracement, but then it played around a bit, it chopped around at this area here, and then we had this spike toward downside, and when it came down, it took probably most of the orders, or whatever the retail traders had, the short-term traders, the orders down here. Then it had this reaction towards upside, but then it still started to roll over, and we can see it's keep going for now. In the short term, as it goes, there's a 1-hourly time frame, or even the 4-hour time frame, it looks like that it's the price wants to turn. However, I cannot ignore that if we go to the daily time frame, the trend is still looking nicely up, and this is just a retracement, at least for now. So it's kind of a bit of a dilemma on this case, that so what the price gonna do, because I definitely see the upside potential on this. And so far I'm going to stick with the upside more than the downside, because I cannot just ignore this trend. But in the other hand, on the shorter time frames, such as a 1 hourly time frame, I see that the price is going nicely towards downside. So it's like this between two fire, and I'm still gonna position myself towards the long side as of the more longer term trading. And as of the short side, I will be looking for the shorting this currency just for like as of the day trade, as of the day trading goes. We need to see a bit more retracement towards upside before I can get onto the short side. The other thing is we need to find the target first. So that's how I was. So that's why I was like looking and thinking where the price wants to go now, because we're coming. The price already came down to this this nice support zone, which is roughly at 64.40 zone, because we have this high here and we got this low down here. So, and we also have the trend line, because it's pretty close to this this trend line here. So it's a decent enough support, and the question is the price gonna continue, maybe go down to, I don't know, like this level? This is another next support zone, which is roughly at 63.80 zone. So if it's gonna continue that way or not. So it's a bit of a not 100% clear as of goes the short-term trading, because we are sitting at the nice support. So if the matter of it's gonna break this level or not. So I will still give it a try if the price gives me the opportunity to short this trade. And the question is, I'm just looking where this can go. 64.40. No, I'm just sitting and waiting, right? Where that might go. So this one, we got another low down here. So okay, it's pretty much the same level as 63, roughly about 63.90. 63.90. So these two. Down here, 63. Yeah, this is does require a bit more observation than usual, but because it can go really either way. So I'm a bit like debating, should I give it a try or not, because so far it's going pretty well towards a downside, and I do see the both potential towards either down or upside. Just the bigger trend is looking, as of the daily time frames, the trend is looking nicely up, and as of the 4-hourly and 1-hour time frame goes, especially 1-hour time frame, it does looking that the price is wants to go down. But of course, we're gonna stick with the day as of the daily time frame. I'm definitely looking more upside, but as of the short term, I'm a bit kind of cringy about to either take the trade towards short side or not, but I do see the potential to take the short trade. So for the retracement, we're going to give it a try for the short side play up to, if the price comes up to this level, which is at 64.65. On this level, we have a cluster of open and closes, these highs up here, and also we got this one, which is not that strong, but we can still use it because it couples up with this this main highs in the open and closes in here. So we can use that one as of the short opportunity. So if we get onto at 64.65, the first entry for the short side, and we're gonna be looking for 75, and we're gonna be looking for 75. Yeah, we will be looking for about 10 pips stop loss on this one 12, you can do that as well, but I will be looking for the 10 pip stop loss. The reason why, if the price comes up and continues, then yeah, we'll be on a long, it's going to just confirm the it's going to join this longer term trend towards upside. So 64.65 as of the potential entry towards short side, and 10-12 pips for this one. However, the one thing that I do want to see, the this one, the price coming up to this level on the next hour candle. So ideally it will not do on this hour, so I want to see this one doing it in the next candle. So we're gonna wait for the close of this candle, and if it does it in the next candle, which is at 9 a.m. Candle, then we can apply this one and take the trade up to this level towards a short side. Again, 10 pips, or you can give it a 12 pips, that's fine as well. We're going to position the stop just, of course, so we above these highs here, so somewhere around here. And as of the targets goes, that's the bit of a tricky one when it comes to the target now. So if we enter at 64.65, let's go to 4-hourly time frame. So we can't use this one as a target, and we need to use the target down to this level. So we got 60, roughly about 63.90 zone. Let me have a look at the daily time frame, see what we have it on there. On a daily time frame, okay, we can use, no, that's too far away. So we're gonna use the 4-hourly time frame as on here. So we're gonna run it down to at 63.90 or 63.95. So we're looking about 70 pip gain on this one. I do want to say that the kind of chances of this trade working out, it might not be as good. The reason why it's quite a bit of a struggle to hurdle through the price to come down, because we have multiple, so we have nice strong support in here on the high and low here, as well as the trend line, so price might find it difficult to break that zone. So that makes it not the trade as of not very strong. But it's still worth a try. So if we get onto, if we take the trade and it does work out, then we're gonna target this, call it at 63.95 for the target, and if we enter at 64.65, then we'll be looking about 70 pip gain with a 10 or 12 pip stop loss, which is gonna be just above the 1 to 6 risk reward, which is yeah, pretty amazing for that. Let's see what else I can discuss on this one. Yeah, as of the trades there, we took it for this currency. I mean, things happen for the, I think it was the Fed announcement which affected the Aussie dollar, or the US dollar more likely. Yeah, Fed's unscheduled announcement, it came out at 3 p.m. so that's why the price went towards south. So yeah, I mean, it can happen. That's why we use stop losses, so we only take a fraction of the account. So that's the reason why we need to use stop losses, because things happen. The unprecedented news can come out and affect the currency against your direction. So that's why we need the stop losses to save us from wiping out our account. Yeah, it's a bit like annoying, because it got so close for the target. So it came 10-11 pips to the target. So our target was at 65.80, and it came up to, what is it, 65.69, and then it started to turn. Yeah, it's very annoying when these kind of things happen, but it does happen to everyone. So there's no need to feel upset about it. I mean, we cannot predict that. And yeah, we just get onto there and find the next trade, really. So the next one is Usdcad. let's see, Usdcad, oops, no, CAD. US dollar against Canada. So let's drill down to the daily time frame. This one looks similar-ish. Anyway, so what we have in here, this is a daily time frame. So the price came down and tested these lows down here, and then now we see that the reaction towards upside. So it's just having a reaction for this down to this low. It has taken out this spike low down here, just marginally have taken out, and now it's going up because it just all the orders, all the stop losses were down here. It's most likely sucked in, and now it's having this reaction towards upside. So how are we going to go about it? We have also this daily trend line up here, so maybe the price is gravitating towards it, but it's a bit early to say. So far it's going nicely towards upside. Let's drill down to the 4-hourly time frame. Yeah, we can see it's going nicely on the 4-hourly time frame. I do still think that just a retracement before it continues to go downsides, and just having the reaction for this the daily lows. So I do think that the price is gonna fall at some point. So let's have a look at what we can do about it. So the question is where the price is going. I think that's a good area to target at 140-100. I don't think it's gonna stop 140.60, so that's the next one, and we got the way it looks like it. I'm pretty sure it does have enough strength to come up at 140-100, which is up to this level here. We got loads of price action going on here. So I do think the intensity of the candles, the way it looks pretty strong, so I do think it's gonna come up at 140-100. So for now we're gonna look for the retracement to get onto the towards upside. We can use this one as a first target at 140.60, and the second one will be at 140-100, and then probably gonna the price might just turn and continue towards the downside, but for now we need to concentrate what is in front of us, and especially in short-term trades. We have this nice move towards upside. So let's go to the 1-hour time frame and see what we can do about it. Yeah, it has this tiny pullback in here that confirms again that the it's looking strong towards upside. As of the short-term trading goes, we had this nice retracement in here, which I did miss because I was sleeping. So, and then we had this tiny retracement up here, but that's not much. The question is what it's gonna do now. Most likely depend. Okay, so it depends how it's gonna go on from now. If it's going to continue up, let's say if the price continues and closes at around 140.40, then I can use that one if the price retraces. So let's say the price comes up at 140.40 and closes there, then I will be looking for the retracements down to around this zone where the price is at the moment. So roughly about 140.20 zone. We got this the reason why we have these lows here, so we can use that as the entry towards upside. However, if the price stays there and maybe plays around in the next 2 or 3 candles, then I can justify getting onto the trade at this level down here, which is at, I believe, about 1,400, so around this level here. So this level, this kind of low down here, but also we have this highs in here and cluster of open closes, and it also comes back to this this spike low down here, so we can use that one as entry. So two potential if the price continues up, pushes up another 15-20 pips and then retraces, then we can use 140.20 as of the entry. However, if it stays here and then it makes its way down to this 14,000, we can use that one as an entry. So for potentially for both stop losses, so as of the first one, so let's consider if the price goes up and then retraces, then we will be looking, we can use a tight stop loss, so 20 get on, so we can use a 20 pips stop loss. Yeah, we can get away with 15 or 20 pips stop loss. You can give it a 25 if you want to feel safer, but then as of the risk reward goes, it might be not as good. So 20 pip stop loss would be pretty good on this one, or you can use 25 and give it extra room to position yourself a bit more safer if you want. However, if the price continues now and just comes down in the next hour, or maybe two candles, it takes about 2 candles to come down this one, then we can use this 14,000 as of the entry. It's also a nice round number. For the stop loss on this one is gonna be about, let's see what we have. Yeah, we can use a 15 pip stop loss. I can justify definitely 15 pips stop loss on this one. You can give it 20 as well. So 15 or 20 pip stop loss, depends your if you want to give it extra room or not. And as of the targets goes for so if we have 4,000, then if we enter down to this low at 14,000, we can take the profits up to this 140.60. However, if we enter at the above at 140.20, then we can't really justify taking the profit up to this 140.60 zone. Then we need to give it at 140.100 as of the targets. So the risk reward is going to be good. So it just depends what you enter. So if you enter at again 140.20, then the target is going to be at 140.100, and if we enter down to this 4,000, we can take the profits at 140.60, or you can take a remaining profits off and leave the half the position running to the 140.100. That's entirely up to you. Obviously, if you leave the trade longer running, unlikely it's going to work out. It's going to make its way up to this 140.100 because it's quite far away, and it might not do it on today. So you might need to leave the trade on for the over the weekend. So it's just up to you. This one's the better chance for the 140.60 for the trade to make its way up to this level. So far it's looking pretty good. Ideally does it on the not next, either next candle or the following candle, so about 10 o'clock candle, and then comes down to here, and then we can use that one to get on and run it to towards upside the targets I mentioned earlier. So this was the two currencies so far. I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna pre-pick my choice basically. So let's go to the daily time frame. So we discussed so far AUD/USD. I think I did write it. Yeah, AUD/USD and Usdcad. And so what currency next? What one? Let's go to British pounds against USD. So I'm gonna pick that one. See what we have up there. So yeah, the price made its way to these highs. I've been talking about this one if the price breaks it. So it does broke this this trend line, and now it tested this daily high up here. So now it's having a reaction to downside, but it's only a retracement so far. Okay, so it hasn't taken out these highs in here. Yeah, it hasn't taken out the highs here, and maybe just maybe you might want to just go higher. So far it's looking pretty good. For the upside, it does looking good, and the next for the potential targets can be 127.70, roughly about 127.70 could be a potential. Let's drill down to the shorter time frame, see what we have it on the 4-hourly time frame. Yeah, it does looking good. It's just having a reaction for this when the price tested the high here, and it's just having a retracement. Just a question how far it's gonna retrace. So far it's going nicely. So I need to go and see the 1-hourly time frame. Let's go to the 1-hourly time frame. Okay, that's what we have it on the left. It's quite far. So yeah, we have this kind of flag. So we have this we had this nice bullish candle, like how strong, and it looks like it has a lot of strength towards upside, and then we have this kind of flag in here. So this one does look weak, and it does look like a retracement, especially on a 4-hourly time frame. It's just coming down slowly, and also on the daily time frame. For now, I'm just looking for like the ways what we can use to get onto the long side. So the price is okay. So we can. So the price is sitting at this level here. We have this nice support down here, but because it happened on was it 15th of April, so it's about more than 2 weeks back. So I need something a bit closer than that. Let me just go back to the 4-hourly time frame. See what we have. Okay, this is the same as what we've seen on the 1-hourly time frame. So the way I see it is kind of two potentials, because the price is already sitting on this support zone. Let me just go. So the price already made its way down to this area. So we got this support, and also we got this low, so makes it a nice support. The problem is because it's this is a 2 weeks back, and it's a shorter time frame. I'm just looking at the 1-hourly time frames. It's not as solid. We can use that one as of the entry, but I would like to see a bit more on this one, especially on looking at these candles in here. So the last hour candle, we had this kind of spinning top, and just it's been going down on the 1-hour time frame a bit too long. I do like to see a nice clean. For instance, we have this bar, and if the price, let's say, come down like this, and then it should back up, then I would be looking for this one. It was a good setup. But however, because the prices just came down and it just went around all over the place like this, I do not like seeing this sort of candles in here. So for now, what I would do, if it's gonna happen, it's probably gonna happen in about next probably 2 hours, because it needs about 2 or 3 candles to work out. So I do like to see price pushing a bit up, maybe in the next hour, and then coming down again and revisiting this low. Then I will be looking for the long side play. However, it's going to take a couple of hours to play out, most likely about 3 to 4 hours the way it's looking. So the price coming up around this zone and then returning back to the lows back down here. So it needs about 3 to 4 hours to set it up. And if that does, I do not want to see any strong moves, any sort of, let's say, strong bullish candles, then maybe I need to reanalyze. But if it does, for the sort of these candles, we can see the more like uncertain candles. So we have like a hammer, hanging man, and spinning tops. If it does something like this one, it pushes up and then comes back down, then I will be looking for the to get on somewhere roughly will be around to this where the price is currently at the moment, which is at 125.50 zone, roughly around this area, and we're gonna place the stop losses below whatever the if it's gonna make another new low or not. So we would be looking roughly 15 to 20 pips stop loss. But because it has not worked out and it has good couple of hours before it's going to work out, if it's going to work out, then it's a bit of a difficult to anticipate the more accurate the entry and the stop loss one. And as I said, to refer it needs to come up around in the next candle or two around this level and then return to these lows back down here. So, and it's not going to happen for another 3 or 4 hours. I don't think it's going to happen. So yeah, it's gonna be on the working. As of the targets, I will be looking for the faraway targets because I would expect. Okay, this is more like a swing opportunity. I would expect for the price to break this this high here. So this is gonna be more like the swing opportunity rather than a day trade, because I don't see a day trade opportunity on this one. As of the target, it's gonna be at 27. Up to the 27.75 zone, but it needs to do that the pattern I just mentioned. If it does not do it, then it's going to be a bit of a different trade, because I definitely see the upside potential on this one. So it's working, just needs to make the changes. So this is British pounds against GBP. Hey there, so British pounds against Australian and Euro against Australian. Oh, did I announce you? I didn't know. So, okay, let me just write this one, GBPUSD. So this was this one. So British pounds against Australian dollar. Let's have a look at the British pounds against Australian dollar. GBPAUD. British pounds against Australian. Let's see what we have. Yeah, that's pushing up. Okay, so we have this nice reaction. So it's again starting with a daily time frame, and then I'm gonna drill it down to shorter time frame. It does looking pretty strong as of the today's and yesterday's candle towards upside. However, it's a retracement of the bigger trend so far. Okay, just a question how far it's gonna go. So we got this area here at 95.80 is the next potential resistance. 95, around 95. Oops, no. 95.70, roughly speaking. 95.70. We got these lows down here as well as these lows, so that could act as a resistance. Let's go to the shorter time frames. Well, we have it in the shorter time frame. Yeah, it is looking strong towards upside for as of the shorter time frame goes. Definitely, I'll be looking for towards upside at some points at the level of the one I mentioned. I'm going to come back to it. So far, I will position myself towards upside on here. 95.50. This one could be as well. So let's go to the 1 hour time frame, see what we have it in there, because I don't want to see a bit of a retracement before I jump into the long side. Let's go to the 4 hourly. Okay, so the price came up to this, so we got this 1 hourly high, which I don't think is going to create much of a problem because the price is looking very strong towards upside. Hopefully it's gonna have a bit of a reaction on this one and retrace. That's why we're gonna use our entry to get onto the long side. So we can, this area looking good. So 94.65. 94.60. So we can use 94.60 as of the entry, or 94. Oh yeah, this, I don't usually trade this currency, but the way it looks like, it does move a lot more than the other ones. It looks similar to the British pounds, Japanese yen. They both have a big volume in it. Just by looking at the pip range in here, it does move a lot. Which can be a good thing, but it can also backfire as well if you're in the wrong side of the market. So on this case, let's see what could be a good potential for the entry. And to see this one here, we can use this 94.50 zone. 94.50. We can use the 94.50 zone as of the entry. We got quite a bit of price action going on in here. We got this highs, we got these lows, and also we got these opening closes. We have also these spikes in here. So there's quite a bit of price action going on. So we can use this one as an entry. So as I said, 94.50 zone if the price retraces, and it has to do it in the next hour. So that one is around here, 94.50. Definitely on the next hour, because I do want to see the close of this this hourly candle, and if this closes, I don't want to see a nice bullish close, then I will be looking for the retracement for the price to come down at this level for the 94.50 zone. So it's around 35 pips, which is not much for this currency because it does move a lot. So on this case, 94.50 for this one, it's going pretty nicely. So when this candle is closed, then I do want to see a nice bullish close, then a retracement at 94.60 with this stop losses. So if you get on to 94.50, sorry, not 94.60, 94.50. And for the stop loss, as of the stop loss goes, we would be looking. Yeah, I need to give this one about 35 pip stop loss at the very good, very minimum. I would give it 35 pip stop loss. So we're going to position the stop loss below here, so somewhere around this area. So 35 pip stop loss on this, and we're going to run it. Note that if it goes too far, then might leave the trade, because I don't want to go any further than probably another 10 pips. And if it's going to go further and close that way, then it will disqualify the entry at 94.50. But so far it's looking good. And for the target, as I mentioned, the target, let's go to the target. The target was target is around at 95.60 zone, so we will be looking about 100 pips, 100 pip gain, 94. So we're getting at 94.50, and the target is at 95.60. So 110 pips target for that one, and we're going to take a 35 pip stop loss. So we still look, it's the risk reward is about 1 to 3 risk reward, which is good. So on this one, but it does looking pretty strong, so it might continue to go up here. So make sure to wait for this hourly candle to close before committing to the trade, because if it comes down and closes as a inverted hammer or doji, you might the price might want to retrace even further than 94.50. So that's the reason why. But if it closes something like this one, that's pretty justifiable to get onto that 94.50 zone, 35 stop loss, and the target is going to be at 95.60. So we're going to take the target on the 4-hourly time frame. So GBP. So that was the GBPAUD. So this currency, and the next one was Euro against Australian dollar. Ooh, yeah, Euro against Australian dollar is good. I do like that currency. Euraud. So let's go to the daily time frames and see what we got. And get a similar picture. It does pushing higher. Let's see if we can draw the trend line here actually. No, so it looks like it has broken, though it's not closed. The candle is not closed yet. Yeah, it looks broken. Let's see. So we can draw this candle here. Yeah, the way it looks like it's okay. Just ignore that one. So. And as of the daily time frame, we discussed that if you follow my trades, I'll be saying that the price was coming down to this level here, where we got this horizontal line, and when the price came down and tested that support level, that's why it's having this nice reaction. The question is if it's gonna come back to it and break it, or if it's gonna continue up. So far, it does looking that. It's just a bigger, the trend is looking down, and it's just having a bigger retracement. So the question is how far it's gonna retrace. Maybe the price even come up to this level here, 72.60 maybe. So let's drill down to the 4-hourly time frame, see what we have. Yeah, easily broken this level. It did not even yeah, this level here is no problem to break whatsoever, and it's continuing to edge higher. But the candle is not closed yet. It's a 4-hour candle, so it has not closed yet. But so far, the way it looks like that it does looking pretty strong towards upside. So I do think the price even might push pretty decent high. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame, see what we can use as of the entry. So the price is 69.70. That would be a good, yeah, that would be a good area to to use it as an entry. 69.70. I think that's the same one as the on the 4-hour time frame, right? No, this is a bit further down, so 69. Okay, no, this is not the same one. 69.45. Same one, but the spikes, we got the spikes. Okay, so 69. We're gonna use the on the 1-hour time frame as of the entry in here. So that's a potential. I do see it in here. So at 69.70 could be the potential entry, which is we got these highs up here, also this spike, and it's kind of low in here. So we can use that one as of the entry. So 169.70 as of the entry, and for the stop losses, you know, a tricky one. So stop losses. Mm, 70 mean trade. Yeah, this is again, it's more like a swing trade, rather than a day trade in this particular occasion. This is a perfect opportunity for this scalp trading because the volatilities are very high and we have trends in one direction, which is for now is going up, and I do think it's going to continue towards upside. So this is a perfect opportunities if you are scalp trading. I personally don't do that. It just takes up too much of my time, and it's always it's never enough to have the time. So in this case, this one does look more like a swing trading opportunity to me rather than a day trading. So 169.70 as of the entry, and 30 pips. No, 30 pips not gonna cut it. 40 pips, probably 50. Yeah, we will be looking 50 pips at the very minimum, or we can give it 60 or even 70 pips stop loss on this one. 60 pips, 50 or 60 pips on this one. So There's gonna be more like a swing trade opportunities for the entry at 69.70, and we will look in 50 or 60 pip stop loss on this one, and the target's gonna be pretty high. We're gonna use the daily time frame to get onto the trade. 70, 50, so the price is at something. Yeah, it does have this resistance up here, in here, this resistance up here. So you might find for the price might find a problem to get on to break this zone. But the way it looks so far, it looks pretty strong. So I do think it's gonna probably want to break this zone and continue to these highs. This is a next very strong resistance area. So in this case, I will be positioning my target at 170 to a 70 zone, which is up here. So I'm going to be covering this one on my weekend swing trading analysis, because the way it's looking, this is more of a swing than definitely than day trading. So again, for the entry, we'll be looking 169.70 with the 50 or 60 pip stop loss, and we're gonna run it to 172.70. So we're risking about 50 or 60 pips, and we're gonna gain just was it 200 pips, roughly about 200 pips, or just over 200 pips. So risk reward, we're looking roughly on 1 to 4 risk reward, which is pretty good, but certainly it's not going to work out. I do not think it's going to get to that point today, so unlikely. So you might want to think that if you're going to leave the trade over the weekend, so if you're going to have the target up to this level, it's probably going to take until the next week before the price going to get up to this level, and maybe even longer. So but this so far is looking very strong and towards upside. So this was Euro against AUD, Euro against Australian dollar. So no questions so far, so don't be shy, guys. You can ask the questions in here. So I'm gonna pick another currency, and if I don't see any more questions, either gonna be currencies or trading related, then I will be signing out. So I'm gonna take another currency. So far we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 currencies so far. So what's next one? Which one should I pick next? So we had Aussie against Australia, USD against Canada, we had British pounds, 2 British pounds, we didn't have a Japanese yen, so we didn't do a Japanese yen. Let's see, USD, Japanese yen. So let's go USD, JPY, okay. Okay, so region, if I'm correct, except British pounds against Swiss franc. So British pounds against Swiss franc. And why did Euro rise this hard? Let me see. We had a news for the Euro. I'm gonna come back for the analyze the British pounds against Swiss franc to offer trade signals. No, I do not offer the trade signals. Yeah, no, I don't offer the trade signals. I personally prefer the professional Go Heyman. And okay, I lost the question. So the question for why did Euro rise this hard? We had the news out yesterday. If you go to the Forex Factory yesterday, yeah, main referencing day. So we had quite a bit of news on that. We had the ECB press conference. So all that together, it did affected the Euro. So that's why it started to fly in the one direction. So that was the news. And also we had I think it was the US side. Yeah, it was. No, it was a US side. I thought it was a Euro as well. So Fed announcement. So yeah, we had this press conference which was out yesterday at 1:30, and that was the reason why it affected. And we also had the May refinancing rate as well as monetary policy statement. So all that news did trigger all that moves. Let's return back to it. So on this one, I answered that one. So British pounds against Swiss franc. Let's go to the British pounds against Swiss franc. GBPCHF. British pounds against Swiss franc. So we got the daily time frame. Okay, so this one's like a slightly different picture in here, even though it's British pounds. Okay. So on these, that's looking good. So 122, so tested these. No, it's coming back out. Okay, this one looks kind of choppy, like looks like a semi-choppy range on that. Okay. So we had this move towards upside. It took out this, it took out this the highs in here, but it went pretty far. Generally does not do it unless the price want to continue higher. So what I can see so far, we had this nice move upside with a small retracement. Then the price continued towards upside. It took out this high. Then again we had this reaction towards downside. The price came down, took out this spike low down here, and then it continued towards upside, took out this high, and now it's kind of been a bit choppy in here. We had also this sort of inverted hammer or doji candle in here, which is this one. Oops, excuse my drawing. The one in here, and it's being slightly choppy. So let's go to the shorter time frame and see. Okay, yeah, it's a bit of a choppy range in here. We can see it. Well, the range is pretty good actually. The range is, even sometimes when we got the choppy market, depending on the currency pair, like something such as let's see what's the range bound on this one, 2175. Yeah, the range is decent on this one. So when we have a choppy market, and depending on the currency, as I said, it's let's say if it's something like euro against Australian dollar, because they're currencies, and also the British pounds against Japanese yen. These like similar currencies, they move a lot. So these two currencies, because even if it's chopping, it still have enough range, and the pips wise, you can get a lot of pips out of it, even though the price is chopping around. So in this case, the range bound is decent enough to take the trade. But when it comes to such as like euro dollar, if it's euro dollar is chopping around, you can only get like 10 pips out of it sometimes, which is not worth to the trade. So on this one, the price is coming down. I do see that it can go up, even though this being a choppy. So now it's coming down, and it's already tested this this low down here, and it's sitting on this support. So there's a good chance the price gonna have a reaction, go to the next possible high. So let's see on a 1 hourly time frame. Yeah, this one looks nice. However, I do want to see the price taking out. Yeah, I do want to see the price taking out this low down here, which is at 120.70 zone. So I do want to see the price taking out this spike low down here, and then I will be looking for the long sides on this one somewhere around. Let's reanalyze. So if the price comes down and takes out this this low here, and ideally it closes something like this candle. So it comes down and makes this nice spike in here without a full body. So always pay attention for the how the candle is going to close. Like something like this one, so far the way it's looking, it looks stronger towards downside. So if it closes like this, let's say, even though it has if it takes out this low, then I'll be more kind of sit and wait situation, rather than we'll be taking the trade. So I do pay a lot of attention how the candles are closing. So in this case, I do want to see the price coming down and taking out this low. Then I can justify taking the long trade only if it makes the wick. So I don't want to see any close bearish candles and its strength towards downside in that extent, so then I can justify to get into the trade. So on this one, let's say we go on to, so the spike is down here, so let's say roughly at 120.85. So the price comes down and takes out, so let's say 20.65. That will class that the price already taken out this low and then closes bit above around 120.80 area. Then I can justify taking the trade. So let's assume for the potential we're gonna take the entry at 120.85 with a stop loss. 65 would be looking 20 bit too tight, so we're gonna take a 25 pip stop loss, just a bit extra. You always want to give a few extra pips. You don't want to put your stop loss just below the spike, so give it extra few pips. So on this one will be a 25 pip stop loss and target. So let's see the target. So if the price comes down here for 85, yeah, it should come up already up to here. So the target's gonna be around 121.50 zone. Actually, wait, so we have this one as well. No, actually 120.140, not 50, forget about it. So 121.40. So the reason why we have these highs, and we can also, it's the same level as here. So we're gonna use this 4-hourly time frame to get on for the target. So this one's gonna be the target at 121.40. Our entry is at 120.85 with 25. So 85. Actually, let me think. 75, 15, 40. Oh, that gives us 55 pips gain. Okay. So as of the risk reward goes, it's not very good as of in my terms. So that works out just over 1 to 2 risk reward. It's good, but it does not meet my requirements. But if you're happy with the more than 1 to 2 risk reward, then you just go for it. It's good risk reward, but I just personally, as of my strategy goes, then I use always 1 to 3 risk reward at the very minimum, or higher. The higher the better. But at the minimum requirement, it has to meet a 1 to 3 risk reward. So it does, it's good as of the just over 1 to 2 risk reward requirement in this case. So if it does satisfy your risk reward or your strategy, depending whatever strategy you're using, then it's pretty good on that one. So I think I did not miss anything, but again, wait for the candle to come out and taking out this low here. So make sure that you wait for that one. It has to take out this low, and the price, the candle, it should not look like what is forming right now. So if it's gonna form like this candle, then I will not personally take the trade, because that's going to signal strength towards downside, and there's a good chance the price is going to break this area and then continue to fall. So we're going to wait for that one, and because it's in a choppy range, I can't really justify to definitely shorting, because it's a bit unclear. And as of the daily time frame, it looks more upside rather than downside. So it does look, even though the it's not strong, but it's inclined towards upside than downside. So that's why I do want to wait and see on what it's gonna do. So make sure you wait for that candle before close of that candle and taking out this low in here. So it's not gonna do for another 3 hours, because this candle's gonna new candle's gonna open in 3 hours at midday UK time. So yeah, it's plenty of time to wait. To just come back and check it just before midday. That's what I do. That's the good thing about when you trade on the higher time frame, such as like 4-hourly time frame is pretty good, because that candle only changes every 4 hours. So you can just come back and see it every 4 hours. So you can do like other things in between. So British pounds against the Swiss franc, GBPCHF. GBPCHF. So I did analyze about. So I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes and then I will be signing out if no more questions. So we still got half an hour to go, so you can pop your questions if you got any. Then I will address them after. So what we can do now, so we so far analyzed actually quite a few currencies now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 currencies so far. That's good. So no more than that. Okay, 6 currencies so far. What we can do, let's see, what currency should I pick? Let's pick one more currency if I don't see any more questions, and I can always, oh, I was looking for the USD GPI if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at the USD GPI, some major currencies. I do like the major currencies depending what they are doing. If they're not doing anything, like sometimes you got the major currencies, they're not really doing much, then I look for the minor currencies, and then yeah, there's some different currencies. But if the major currencies is keeping me busy, then euro dollar. Okay, euro dollar. So let's address euro against USD. Yeah, so if the major currencies are keeping me busy, then I just leave the minor currencies. However, if it's not, there's nothing going on the major currencies, then I look for the other opportunities. What is up to the market? So euro against US dollar. So what we have is in here. So we had this nice reaction upsides due to yesterday's news, and so the price came up and it hasn't got in here, right? It's not quite get to these highs. It's almost get to these highs, so it's pretty close. Probably gonna test it. Maybe it's only about what, next 10 pips. It's gonna test it, and then the question is what's gonna be then. Right. So far. So far, it's in the more like a downtrend rather than uptrend, but it's starting to go slightly choppy. But on the daily time frames, we can see that we have all these crazy moves towards downside. That's where the coronavirus thing unfolded, and then a recovery. We had downside again, and it's kind of recovering up and down. Actually, this is forming another wedge, does it? Okay, let me put this. Looks like it's forming. Okay, no, it's not forming the wedge. It looked like it was forming another wedge pattern, but no, it's not. Let's bring it down. So we had this wedge pattern before, and it has broken out this pattern in here. Okay, so, am I missing something? So not. Looks like I can put the trend lines up here. So we got this. No, it's not good. Okay, I don't like it. And okay, we can take this one off as well. Make it the chart be clearer. Let's see. Trend line. So it's gonna class as broken up here. We can also use this one up here as well. Yeah, on the daily time frame. So we can say that it's we have this trend line in here. However, when it comes to trend lines, they're not very accurate. So that's a problem with the trend lines. But when it's it can act as a support or a nice resistance either way. So for now, the price is on this range up here. So we got this range. Oops, excuse my drawing. So we got this range up to this. So just a matter of if the price gonna break this area or not. So far it does looking strong, but they were looking for the last time it came up in here. It also looking strong, but then we can see that it did reverse and went down, took out this low, and then now it's coming up for another test. So the chances are it can break this this area in here. It just, if you want to give it a try, I'm certainly gonna give it see what we're going on the 4-hourly time frames. So on the 4-hourly time frames, we do have, okay, we have this 4-hourly trend line that's looking. So it depends like your style of trading. If you like to wait for the confirmation and then jumping into the trade after that, or you're a bit more aggressive and you like to get onto the trade before that breakout confirmation happens. So in my case, it depends, and yeah, it does make me want to trade towards upside actually, than downside, even though we have this on the daily time frame. Okay, so we get these nice moves, and but we did put this lower sort of high in here. So then price came down and broke this one out. Yeah, on the occasion that probably the smart way would be to wait for the break of this this high, which not gonna happen until next week, because we will not know if this level is broken until the price breaks it and closes above it. So it's not only gonna be on the next week. So however, that said, let's see if I can. Okay, so we got 0980 zone. So we still got 20 pips before this high up here. So 10980. So let's see if we can take any day trading opportunities in here. So 10980 towards upside. What I'm looking at. So we need that 1 hourly time frame. So okay, so look at that bats. We need a retracement. We can. Okay, that would be too far. 109.80. Yeah, just a matter of if the price gonna do it or not. Ideally, I would look for the entry down to this level at 109.40 zone, but because the price is a bit far away, and it's Friday today as well, that makes it another one, because it might be volatile for this the first half of the morning and then just completely die down on the other half of the day. So this is another thing we need to consider when it comes to late of the week, so such as Friday, because generally the traders, they trade in the morning and they be more cautious, especially after they having a few winning or the losing trades, the both of them, because this week is closing, and if you're tracking your the P&L, the profit and loss, and you're sitting on the profit on that week, and it's gonna only take this one losing trade before you're gonna sign out as of the losing week on a winning week. So no one likes to have that winning, or everyone wants to have that winning week, and especially when this one trade decides that factor, then the traders are less likely gonna take the trade. So I've been there, so I know that this is a psychological a lot of psychological factors going on when it comes to trading, and I say it all the time. That no matter what kind of strategy you're using, even with the highest or the best strategy, whatever you have, it is no match for the mindset. The mindset is the number one, and then you can have a strategy. But if you don't have a mindset, your strategy not gonna perform. So you need to develop the mindset. This is the most important part. So that's why is this one, as of the working out on this case, is maybe not so good, or not so high chance as of the working out for today. For now, I would, yeah, it's a bit, I don't even like the can. Okay, no, that's not that bad. So as of the entry, I would look for the entry at around 109.45, give or take 109.45 at this down to this level in here, or this one is actually even better level than this one, but because the price is, it's only 20 pips away, so there's a chance that the price can comes down to this zone around 109.40 or let's say 109.45 with a spread. 145. So let's look for the entry at 109.45. It's roughly about 109.42, but you can't be always exact on these levels. It's a zone, so it can vary a couple of pips. So let's call it 109.45 as of the entry for the potential entry, and stop losses 10. Probably gonna need about 20 pips stop loss. 145, and we're gonna run it. Our target is 109.80, so 109.80, if we're gonna do that, will be 40. So the maximum would be about 20 pip stop loss. In my case, I would not even probably touch this trade because it does not justify for me as of the risk reward requirement, but it does meet the 1 to 2 risk reward requirements, which is good. But the trades, this gonna work out or not is very under question mark. So if we're gonna see the moves, which probably gonna die down on the other half of the day. So as I said, 109.45 with a 20 pip stop loss, and our target is going to be at 109.80, which is this daily high, which very close. The price is very close to come up and test this highs, 109.80. So we want to see the test of these highs, and that's what we're gonna take the profits of. And I'm sure a lot of traders already in this trade and have the target up to this level. So we're looking about 40 pips, about 40 or 35 pips gain, and the risk is about 20 pips. I'm just thinking if I can justify to taking give it a tighter stop loss or not. 10 pips or 12 pips. Yeah, 12 pips. I can't really justify giving 10 or 12 pips because it will be too tight, and the price can come down to this level as well, 109.33. However, if you want to wait and take the trade down to this level at 109.35, so it will be another 10 pips retracement, then that would be a better entry. I would definitely say it will be way better entry than the one up here. So this is these two potentials, and for the stop loss on this one's gonna go at 15. So yeah, 20 pip stop loss, but because that's much better, so we're gonna position our stop losses down to this low down here, so below this spike, and the target is the same level. But personally, I don't think it's gonna work out as of today. Also, especially, I do want to see this price coming down in probably in 2 candles, 2 or 3 candles. I don't want to see this kind of move. Let's say like this kind of move, then I would definitely leave the trade alone. So ideally does it in the next 2 or 3 candles, and then we can take the stop either to this level. But personally, I will be looking for this level in here with a 20 pip stop loss, and then we're gonna run it to 109.80 zone. So that will be my analysis on my view on the euro against USD. So we got euro against USD. Agree. Euro against USD. So we did this analysis. So I did analyze that one. So far we got these 7 currencies in. I'm gonna wait if there's any more questions. So I think I analyzed pretty decent enough. We still got about 15 minutes. So if you got any more questions, you can just pop it in the chat. So far I've done 7 currencies. Oh, let's have a look at the news. Meanwhile we are waiting. So we got quite a few bank holidays across the Europe as well as in China. So we got bank holiday, and also we have the bank holiday in what is it, French and Italy. So the only news we need to be aware of is on was it USD side at ISM manufacturing PMI at 3 p.m. UK time. It does create some volatility. Generally, it's not crazy volatility on this news, so it might create some volatility as of the maybe a couple of pips either one of the direction, but generally is not severe, so it does not create crazy moves. Other than that, it's not really much going on as of today, just day one at 3 p.m. UK time. So nothing to worry about much. So I'll give it 5 minutes and then I'll be signing out. If no more questions, okay, good. Stream is good. Okay. Anyway, yes. What else I can make? So, oh yeah, the one more thing I want to ask the question actually. So, do you have your favorite currency to trade? If you have it, I personally do have my favorite currencies to trade, and if you have the particular currencies you like, personally like the trade, just let me know in the comment section. I'm just wondering, and also what's the reason why you like the currency to trade. Leave it in the either comments or in the chat box. So I want to know. I think it's quite interesting. Like personally, I do like trade euro against Australian dollar and British pounds against Japanese yen. So these two are my favorite currency, and I do trade them quite frequently, especially euro against Australian dollar, because the volatility and the opportunity it does gives it does create this opportunities for you to trade then, and also it doesn't take much time compared to the other currencies to play out. So let's say if you put the trade, it might take if it's a swing trade, it might take like 2 or 3 days to work out, rather than compared to the other currencies. Let's say for euro against US dollar, it can take like sometimes even weeks to work out. So yeah, I do favor the currencies. Same as with the British pounds against Japanese yen, it does gives a good lot of nice opportunities to trade. So I do favor these two currencies personally. So let me know if you favor any currency for your liking. So I'll give it a couple of minutes and right, what else we have? So updates. Yeah, we got about a couple of minutes and yeah, it's funny. So let's do explore a bit. Oops. Let's see. Yes. Use the GBPAUD just for the briefly. So I'm gonna have a briefly look at it. Yeah, that's looking down and yeah, this one going down. Okay, let's look at the other one. Yeah, so far, how long are we going? Okay, so we're going 1 hour and 20 minutes so far. So I don't see any questions, so I'll probably gonna be signing out. And so we are on Friday. So next live trading analysis is gonna be on Monday now. So Monday 8 a.m. UK time. Again, guys, thank you for your questions and support that you've been watching me, and also thank you for my lovely assistants, which have been helping me a lot in this quest, let's say that way. And yeah, I'm gonna be signing out. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe, because I'm making all sorts of video on this channel, especially similar to this one, that the daily live forex analysis. I'm making this live trading on Monday to Friday 8 a.m. UK time, every Monday to Friday 8 a.m. UK time, as well as weekly forex analysis. When it comes to the swing trading, I do upload them generally on the weekends, as well as the other trading related topics, such as trading psychology or the mindset. There's going to be a lot more videos coming in about that topic, because I do think that that is the number one step to for the trading success. You need to have that mindset, the trader mindset, and it does not happen overnight. It takes a long time to develop the trader mindset, and you need to practice constantly. Even though I've been trading for a good few years now, I still working on my mindset all the time. So you need to have that mindset. So I'll be making a lot more videos about the mindset and all the other related topics when it comes to trading. So make sure to hit that subscribe, and also if you like this video, make sure to hit that like. It really helps me to produce even better content, and also motivate me to produce and to have a better content out for you guys. So have a great day, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on my next live trading analysis on Monday 8 a.m. UK time. Have a great weekend. So that's gonna be signing out.